I'm going to end you with this right here. I have the most respect I can possibly muster up for all of you in this room. I know what it takes to be a combat soldier, and I used to look for courage. I thought courage was a man who won the Medal of Honor. It is. But courage is a man who's willing to put those boots on every single day of his life to go out there and fight for this country where nobody even knows what the hell they're doing or where the hell they're at. You do it for the man beside you. Thank you. Well, life took me somewhere unexpected. I'm unprepared. It's about 6 degrees out here, and I'm underdressed. But guess what? No one gives a fuck. You gotta get the motherfucker in. Sometimes life can really hijack your fucking mind. When that happens to you, you're all fucked up. Your goals, your ambitions, everything is out the fucking window. In life, we all go through different things. Sometimes your girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up with you. Guess what? Get the fuck over it. They no longer want you. Maybe you failed a test in school. You worked your ass off. Guess what? You failed the fucking test. Get over it. Move past it. Learn to not let life hijack your brain. At work, you've been working your ass off for that new promotion. You don't fucking get it. Someone else does. Maybe they kiss better ass than you do. Guess what? Get over it. Life will hijack your mind if you let it. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours. Get after it and stay hard. So today, I decided to try to PR my long run. So the first half of the run, I'm feeling great. My mind is clear, nothing going on. Think about nothing but just my running pace, what I'm doing, my breathing, everything like that. Get to mile 15, I turn around, and the demons start to creep in. That inevitable wall is creeping up on me. When you push so hard, something's about to give. And I start to give. My mind started to break down. I started feeling my legs starting to hurt. I started feeling dehydrated. Started feeling sorry for myself. Started looking around. No one knows I'm fucking out here running. Why don't you go ahead and just stop? Call your girl, have her pick you up. And that's when I feel like a little bitch. And this is when your mind has to fucking change. You gotta start thinking, I'm the grittiest motherfucker in the world. Your dehydration? Fuck it. Lick your motherfucking lips. Your fucking legs are all sore. You feel like you got shin splints and stress fractures? No, you don't. You got sore fucking legs. Get out of your head and stay hard. Well, it's that time of year again. We start to feel real happy. Why? Because we're not going to work. If you believe in Santa Claus and you celebrate Christmas, you're looking forward to Santa Claus coming down the chimney giving you some presents. It's a real good time of year. So in that good time of year, we start to feel real good about ourselves. So I start to feel great. So we start making promises to ourselves about, hey, I'm gonna lose some weight. I'm gonna do better in school. I'm gonna be better here, be better there. But guess what happens? The real Merry fucking Christmas happens when all of that noise is gone. It's quiet. And it's you against you. And now all those endorphins are gone. And I promise you made about getting up early and getting after it to go lose weight, study harder, guess what? It's a lot fucking harder now. That repetition becomes a lot harder now. So a lot of us can't do things on our own. So find somebody in your life. So when you throw that towel in, they throw that motherfucker back at you and say you're not fucking done yet. Stay true to yourself, stay hard. Every year I do this challenge where I run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. I'm inviting you all to join me virtually. I'm gonna be starting this Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. West Coast time. So, if you can't run 4 miles, walk. If you can't walk, ride your bike. Can't ride your bike, do some push-ups, some sit-ups, some calisthenics. It takes anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. So to set aside that time every single 4 hours. So if I'm starting at 8 and I'm done at 9, we start again at 12. So 8, 12, 4, repeats the cycle. That's how it goes. So why am I doing it? Life's all about getting outside your comfort zone. Strengthening your mind, callousing your mind, arming your mind. You take this 48 hours and you can put this in your cookie jar. Your cookie jar is a reminder of how badass you are when times get hard in your life. Stay hard. Join me virtually, 8 o'clock Friday. Day when I play sports, there was one fucking drill that I hated doing. The coach would have a fucking whistle in his mouth. And basically, we had to sit there and run in place. We ran in place until he blew that whistle. When he blew that whistle, we hit the dirt and bounced up again and started running in place again. And this drill went on and on and on. The one thing that sucked about that drill was the coach was in total control of everything. How long the drill went, when he blew the whistle for us to hit the dirt, when we got back up, started running in place, and it was mind-numbing. That drill reminded me a lot about life. I think a lot of us out here, we don't have control. We don't have the whistle. There's someone out there blowing that fucking whistle, and we hit the dirt. Some of us choose to stay down, but it's that motherfucker who constantly gets up as fast as they can. Those are the motherfuckers that make it in life. So it's our job to always be ready for the whistle. So life's all about time management. So I'm driving from Las Vegas to San Diego, and the traffic got real bad. So got bumper to bumper, no one's moving and shit. So I'm doing 2-a-day runs right now. Run in the morning, run in the afternoon. So I plan on getting to San Diego and getting my run in. So instead of getting all poopy pants and feeling sorry for yourself and getting all frustrated because life has come at me, I decided to pull over because no one was moving anyway and utilize this time to get my miles in. I'm not saying do this. I'm not saying do this, but this is what I'm going to do right now. So utilize your time wisely. We have an epidemic in this world. The epidemic I'm talking about is a lot of people bitch about fucking everything. They bitch about not having time. They bitch about their boss. They bitch about their husband. They bitch about their lives. They bitch about everything. Some people even follow me on Instagram and bitch about me fucking cussing. So why the fuck are you following me on Instagram if you know I'm gonna fucking cuss? We bitch about everything in life, but we do nothing about it. Very few people do anything about it. I'm fat. I'm out of shape. All these fucking things. What the fuck are you doing about it? You gotta take action in your life. You gotta stop bitching. You gotta start find a solution to your fucking problem. Don't be the problem. Take action. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. If all you do is bitch, nothing's gonna happen in your life. Take action, take control. Stay hard. A lot of us dream big. You should dream big. Dreaming big is important. You know, some of us want to be doctors, lawyers, dentists. Some of us want to be in special operations. So you have this big dream. You can see it so clearly, like it's right in front of you. You can go out and touch it. But the thing about it is somewhere, if you dream big enough, somewhere down that journey, that dream becomes a motherfucking nightmare. And what happens in that nightmare, you start to have all these questions like, if you want to be in special ops, you may not be a great swimmer. You may just realize that I'm not a great swimmer, I'm not a great runner. You may start to fail tests. And all these questions start to flood your mind. Why am I here? I'm not good enough. Trust me, I know all about the fucking questions. They will flood your mind. If you do not have the answers for them, you will quit. The answers lie in the repetitions. You must not forget the repetitions you put into trying to dominate the craft that you're in today. Always, always embrace the suck, adapt to the suck, stay home. So when I was going through training, we had to carry these real big heavy ass logs and boats around. And I realized on the toughest of days, my mind would allow the demons to come in and roost in my head and start to give me all these different fucking thoughts. So I realized if I can find a little bit more during training, I could get over these hard times. So what I would do is, after a hard day of getting my ass kicked, I would go to the gym. And I realized if I can go to the gym after these hard fucking days, it would teach my mind that there was no finish line. So one day, this one guy in my boat crew saw me going to the gym. He said, why the fuck are you going to the gym after a hard day at Bud's? I said, those boats and logs are fucking heavy. A couple of days later, we were carrying boats and logs down the beach, down and back. He quit. I looked at him, I said, hey, who's gonna carry the boats? The idea is this: life is the boat. Okay, the accountability mirror. It's exactly that. It holds you accountable for what the fuck you're doing wrong. I call it my live autopsy. Basically, it's key takeaways from your fucking life. We all know that we're not perfect. We all know that certain things make us have thin skin. Certain things make us lie, make us feel insignificant. You know, maybe you're getting judged. Wherever the fuck it is, it's the why am I being a bitch sometimes. Why do people go on social media and maybe troll somebody to write some disgusting, nasty shit about somebody? They don't even fucking know. What's making you do that shit? What's making you lie? What's making you cheat? What's making you steal? For me, I did a whole bunch of fucked up shit. So this mirror held me accountable, but it was myself. I had to hold myself accountable for the why am I being a bitch in certain situations. Why when certain people say certain things, do I feel a certain way? Figure out yourself, get yourself hard, stay hard. As you all know, today is 4th of July. A lot of women and men gave their lives for our very freedom. So those of us who are living, we have an obligation to live our lives to the absolute fullest. Life is one big tug of war, and you don't win that tug of war by pushing the fucking rope. You have to pull that motherfucker. And a lot of times you have to pull yourself through life. This morning, I did not want to get up, so I had to pull my ass out of fucking bed. But guess what? The more and more I got into that run, each fucking step into that run, I started gaining more and more confidence. But to gain that fucking confidence, you have to fucking be willing to pull yourself out of bed, pull yourself out of a funk, pull yourself out of whatever the fuck life is throwing at you to gain that confidence. By the fucking time the run was over, I was like, fuck you, motherfucker. I once again beat your ass. You gotta be willing to find the confidence. Stay in the fight, stay in the war, stay in the battle, armor your mind. By no means am I an expert at this, but I do know a lot about living in the sewer of life. I've been getting a lot of emails from different loved ones about people who have killed themselves. My next door neighbor 2 months ago, she just killed herself. Tons of veterans I know, they killed themselves. I got an email 2 weeks ago from a family member that an 11-year-old boy killed himself from people at school bullying him. One thing about life is that people in life, they are the ultimate puppet masters. They exploit your weakness and they love to walk you around life and own space in your head. One of the biggest ways to cut those strings and walk on your own 2 fucking feet to your own destination in life is to build self-respect, self-esteem, self-discipline, all those things. Stay hard is not just about going to the fucking gym. Stay hard is about going that extra step and you feel like you can't. That's what builds self-esteem and self-respect. Stay hard. A lot of us are being forced into solitude right now, in our homes, apartments, wherever we live. But we're also being forced into solitude in our own minds. Life is the most brutal endurance sport of all time. And that's what we have to love about it. We have to flip it on its head and love the fact that life continues to attack us. There are no fucking timeouts. You can't just go like in a fucking sporting event when the coach doesn't like something and call timeout. You have to figure shit out on the fly. You have to be that person who's always prepared. But the solitude right now that a lot of us are dealing with is what we don't want to deal with. It's the fact that we have to think about all these things that we don't like about ourselves. We like to use life as a big escape. That escape is not there anymore. All these distractions that we use, they're no longer there. This is the time right now for you to stop avoiding things. Get that pen and paper out. Look inside yourself. Stop looking at me or other people out here to be the hero of your story. This is time for you right now in all that solitude to get to know who you are as a person. Be alone with yourself. Write that shit down. Start to face these different things in life. Knowing one thing in life, we are all very fragile in this world. We have to know that when we die with some meaning and some purpose in this world. Stay hard. So a lot of you know that my knees are messed up, but that doesn't mean you don't stop going. You don't stop pushing. Life's about improvise, adapt, and overcome to every situation that's in front of you. A lot of people hate that message that I say continue pushing, continue finding your new 100%, continue finding your best self. If you don't like that message, this is not the place to be. I'm about people trying to find the best they have, not making excuses, overcoming any and all obstacles. So today, I can't run. I can't do much. But you can guarantee one fucking thing. David Goggins got the fuck after it. He got the fuck after it. I don't give a fuck my knees don't work. I'll find something else that does. Ha ha! Stay hard. Always be ready. You never know when your next challenge is coming out of the blue. A lot of people need to have that special event that's down the road that gets them motivated to get ready for the next challenge. I'm telling you right now, every day in life presents the next challenge. Google David Goggins sit-up competition. I'm coming out of my hotel room. This guy's coming out of his. I'm going to dinner with my girl. This guy challenges me to a sit-ups right in the middle of the damn fucking hotel hallway. The next one, 350-pound offensive lineman. I'm minding my business at a speaking gig. Challenges me to a damn arm wrestling competition. Today, I'm minding my business doing pull-ups. Sitting here doing pull-ups. 5, 6, 7, 8 on the minute. This guy wants to jump in. We get to 30 minutes. He looks at me, thinks we're almost done. We get to an hour. He says to me, how many can you do? I say, one more than you. Always fucking be ready in life. Stay hard. So I'm out here in Eugene, Oregon. Just got through training with Cameron Haynes. If you don't know him, make sure you look him up. We did a 50K yesterday. A lot of people ask me about, how do you train for ultra marathons? The big thing is you got to put some big runs in, followed by some medium runs. Yesterday I did a 50K. My legs were all beat down. Woe was me, tired, feel like shit. But guess what? I know, how about days off? One day, but not today. If you're training for a nice big race, get your legs all tired, mucked up, jacked up, where your mind and body say, I don't want to fucking do shit anymore. And guess what you do? You go out and get some more miles in. So yesterday, I did a 50K. Today I'm going to do a nice 15-miler, nice and easy. Legs feel like shit, but that's how they're going to feel at miles 60 and 70 of a 100-mile race. Get after it. Like I said, not today. Get after it. So I just got back from a long run, and what I realized for myself and for a lot of people is that life is one big tug of war between mediocrity and trying to find your best self. So there's tricks to all this crap in life. Life is one big head game. One trick in this situation is, so I didn't want to run, so what did I do? I figured out a couple of things. You have to sometimes let mediocrity think that you're giving into it. So I said, you know what, instead of going for a 20-miler, I'm just gonna go out for an easy 6 or 7. What that did in my brain was it said, okay, mediocrity thought it won. So it let loose a little bit. It let go of that, oh, this is gonna suck. This is gonna be okay, it's not too bad. The second you get to mile 2, guess what happens? Greatness pulls mediocrity in the fucking mud. Get out there and get after it. Well, everybody, it's Groundhog's Day again for David Goggins. If you pan it down here, you see it's about 3 o'clock in the morning and there's not a car or a person in sight. If you pan over here, it's the same thing. Not a car or a person in sight. People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a motherfucker that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday, hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the fuck after it every daggone day. Stay hard. All right, here I am. Honor to the guys. The Warriors and Warriors win day. Mr. Scott died this day about a week ago. It's about 50 degrees in the water. He died of pulmonary edema. The man was hard as hell. He showed true effort, true grit. He did it. Showing the will of a warrior. Here we are today. It's 25 degrees. Mr. Scott, stay hard, brother. Stay hard. Hoo-yah! A lot of people say that nothing's impossible. Shit, I even said that nothing's impossible several times in my life. I lied. There's a lot of things that are impossible for you to do. But what happens is, when we come across something that's very hard, and we try it once or maybe twice, we then say, we're done, we can't do it anymore. Before you say something's impossible, do it and do it and do it to a level that people think that you might be fucking crazy until you say it's impossible. I'm tied up, hands and feet. I fucking hate the water. I sink like a fucking rock. But this is the one thing that almost stopped me from fulfilling my dreams. So yesterday morning, I had to pull out right here for lung issues, pulmonary edema. Went to the hospital. I don't condone anything I'm doing right now for anybody. This is not the message. The race disqualified me as they should have. If you get any outside help, you get disqualified. I woke up this morning. There are a lot of amazing people who are in the back of the pack who are still out here getting after it. I feel a lot better this morning. Once you start getting down in altitude, you feel better immediately. My crew decided to help me out, and there is no message here. Don't do what I'm doing. This is who the fuck I am. I like to complete what I start. If I didn't feel better, I wouldn't be up here doing this. And please don't take this anyway, but this is just who David Goggins is. Stay hard doesn't mean kill yourself. But if I feel better, I'm going to finish what the fuck I got to do. All right, everybody, you see me smiling. Why? Because it kind of sucks out here in New York City. They're expecting some big blizzard to come in, so I was kind of praying to the snow gods for worse weather to come in, because why? In worse weather, we get better. I'm kind of happy, but I was hoping it'd be a lot worse. I'm going to do a nice little run today, and no, I'm not thinking it's warm and 70. I like to live in reality. It sucks. It's about 7 inches of snow, and I'm extremely ecstatic right now. Pain is just a feeling. You see it's happiness? Why? Because it sucks. That's why I'm so happy right now. Merry Christmas. Another great day to be alive. I can experience heat. I can experience cold. I can experience love. I've experienced a lot of emotions in my life. I've also experienced a lot of hate. So I know how it feels to not feel like you're wanted, that you don't fit in, that things aren't fair in this world. I also know about the division. Some people love America. Some people hate America. I get all of it. I don't care what you believe in. But there's one thing for sure. There's a lot of people who are the same color as you, the same religion as you, and the same sexuality as you, whatever you are, that die for this country so that you can have those freedoms. Whether they wanted to die for this country or not, they did, so you can enjoy your day, enjoy your life. There's a lot of finger pointing out here on why you haven't made it and why you haven't succeeded. This country is so free. Check this out. Someone that looks like me, that looks like you, that acts like you, the same sexuality as you, has made it in this world, has succeeded and become successful. So if you don't make it in this world, it's your fault. Stay hard. This morning I woke up with a slack-jawed, poopy pants mentality. I've been traveling an awful lot, kind of wore down a little bit. I believe in taking days off. I think days off are real important for recovery and all that stuff. But I don't believe in taking days off because your mentality is just feeling sorry for yourself. I deserve this, or I've earned that mentality. And that's what I was saying to myself. Today's self-talk was horrible. So we have, we all have one voice, and that one voice is very powerful. That says, "Hey, you've earned this. You deserve this. Take time off." All that stuff. Start developing the other voice that fights that voice when it's not a designated day off. I don't care if it's running, swimming, biking, studying. If it's not a day off, don't take a day off, and start developing that voice that fights the weaker voice. So remember that we all have one voice. Work on the other voice also. When I first joined the military, I got some of the worst advice of all time. That advice was to blend in. Don't stand out. Make sure that, if they don't volunteer for anything, don't do any of that, exceeding the expectations, trying to be your best. And that mentality right there is exactly what keeps you at mediocre level. And I call it the blending in mentality. So if I had that mentality, I would have had, I'm okay at 297 pounds. I'm okay not liking to run, not liking to swim. I'm not going to try to be a SEAL. I'm not going to go to Ranger school. I'm not going to try to, push these limits in ultra races. Your mentality just stays there with the blending in. If you look around the society right now, there's a lot of motherfuckers who are blending in. You can see them. They're blending in. Change your mentality and never blend in. People ask me all the time how I'm able to be so vulnerable. I wasn't always this person. Trust me. I used to be embarrassed about lies I told, fucked up family issues, marriages I was in, things I fucking cheated on, things I quit. I was embarrassed about all that shit. So A lot of people had things on me, and they had power over me and could use this whenever they wanted to. And I didn't like how that felt. So I wanted to get to a spot in my life where I could put a fucking billboard up in the town I lived in with every fucking thing I did wrong, and let people drive by and see it. And I'm finally at that point. So when you get to that point, you kind of take that power back from people. But my question to you is this: are you at a point in your life where you can put a billboard up in your town and have folks drive by that? Stay hard. I get one question a lot: when will I ever be satisfied? I'm very happy, but I'm not satisfied. I've accomplished a lot in my life, and I'm very proud of that. But I won't be, you know what? I run past a cemetery a lot at home. And when I run past a cemetery, it saddens me because there's a lot of people there, not because they're dead, because there's a lot of untapped potential. A lot of us die never tapping into our full potential. And I often look at wash rags when I'm wringing them out to hang them up as my soul. And I won't be satisfied until every drop of that wash rag, which is my soul, is completely wrung out. So in my life, I won't be satisfied until everything I have in me is completely out of me. And that's when I'll be satisfied. Trying to finish up my book here, going back through memory lane. I'm back in Indianapolis, Indiana, where it all started for me. One thing important is that we all have these moments in time that either make you or break you, that can determine the rest of your life. The rest of your life can be determined by one simple decision. 19 years ago, 300 pounds, I was spraying for cockroaches. I made a decision to try to be a Navy SEAL. My whole goal was to go on this path every day after work and to run a mile to a mile and a half. This rock was about the 0.5 mark in my run. This rock was a moment that should have broken me. I got 0.5 into it. I weighed 297 pounds. I sat on this rock and I had a decision to make. I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. There wasn't some inspirational quote. There wasn't nothing. It was me, myself, and it was freezing out here. I had to make a decision. The decision I make was to get up and keep on going. That one moment changed the rest of my life. And I'm getting tons of these superficial, emails about people talking about, oh, I'm mad because I can't go to the gym. The gym's not open. I don't give a fuck. Do some fucking push-ups. I got people talking about, oh, I'm depressed. I've been at home too long. I can't get out of bed. I'm being lazy and I'm getting lazy. I don't give a shit. Be glad you don't have the fucking coronavirus. I have emails coming through bitching about I'm spending too much fucking time with my family. Be fucking glad you have a fucking family right now in this time. Be glad that your family's not in the fucking hospital right now dying of coronavirus and looking through a fucking window saying goodbye to them as they're dying. We have all these things going on in this world. And it's funny to me. This whole big world that we live in, and people are just focusing on one thing they don't have. Start focusing more on the things you do have versus the things you don't have. Be fucking thankful. Stay hard. We have major problems out here. People want to water down hardcore situations. Once you leave the house and your mommy and daddy and the comfort of your friends aren't there anymore, society will kick you in your fucking ass. So when I say bitch, I'm usually talking about myself. I've never talked about a female. On top of that, when I say fuck, it's a fucking hard world out there. I'm not going to say, hey everybody, life is really tough. Therefore, please be careful out there. No, life will fuck you up if you're not fucking ready. Sorry, life didn't put nice silver spoons laid out for me. Therefore, my language is a little bit raw. Because why? In some situations out there in life, shit is fucking raw. You want the real deal? You want to hear the real deal? Come to my site. If not, go do you. Stay hard. A lot of people ask me, Goggins, what the hell drives you? What keeps you going? Is it racist? Is it this and that? None of that shit. I'm going to give you a quick story. 19 years ago, I was 300 pounds trying to find an avenue into being Navy SEAL. I called up 7 different recruiters trying to get in. One recruiter told me it was shape, all this crap. What I did was I wrote his name down. I wasn't mad at him. I wrote his name down. People try hard to put their own dialogue in your head. He didn't believe he could be a Navy SEAL. So he's trying to put that crap in my head. Write those names down, those people, and the unattainable for them. Once you attain it, go back and tell them how you did it. I just had an intense conversation about managing your expectations, how people need to manage their expectations, and about tripling down on your strengths and don't worry about your weaknesses. If anybody out there knows who I am, I totally disagree with all of that crap. I think it's crap, and that's exactly how the people in the world become weaker people. It's by capping your brain. It's by putting this kind of garbage in it about not attacking what you're not good at. It's about putting a cap on managing your expectations. If I lived that way, if I had any kind of thought process like managing expectations, I would be a 400-pound man by now, working some job that made no money, and I would never know my capabilities. I would never have become a Navy SEAL. I never took Ranger School. All these things I did. It's another early morning. You're probably thinking, I have so many videos with me putting my shoes on early in the morning. Well, the videos are all very different if you really think about it. Every morning, every day of our lives, we have choices to make. You have the choice to stay in bed, to say, forget it, I'm not going to work out today, or forget it, I'm not going to work hard today. You always have a choice every single day of your life. So it's a very different video because yesterday I made the choice to get up early and run, but today's another day. Today's another day that I'm faced with another choice to make. So I'm making the choice again to put my shoes on early in the morning and get after it again. So make the right decision. Around 16 years ago today, I was graduating Navy SEAL training. I was pulling off I thought was impossible. I went to a recruiter's office, weighing 300 pounds, low self-esteem, trying to figure out how am I going to find self-esteem in myself. I said, if I graduate SEAL training, I may start the process of doing that. Went there, had to lose 100 pounds really fast. So my idea was to go out and run 4 miles the next day as fast as I can to start losing weight. I got to a quarter of a mile and walked home. I realized that all those insecurities, when things got hard for me, those insecurities came back. I had to do a live autopsy on myself to figure out what was causing these insecurities to constantly come back, constantly roost in my head, constantly dominate my every thought. Every time something got bad, every time something got hard, these things would always come back and haunt me. I had to figure it out and overcome it. A couple weeks ago, I did a video called Taking Souls. Taking Souls comes with a very particular look. And in competition, you're looking to break the other person down. And in breaking that person down, what happens to that person who's being broke down, they have an empty look in their eyes. I call it, you've taken their soul. You own space in their head. And owning space in their head means they're unable to perform at their best now because they're thinking about you. For instance, let's say there's a boxing match, 12 rounds, going at it, heavyweight champion. This guy's getting his ass kicked for 11 rounds. For 11 rounds, he continues to get back up and get back up and get back up. By that 12th round, the guy who's been beating the guy's ass, you're going to start to see a certain look on his face. His soul is leaving. If you can spot that look while you're getting your ass beat, you'll win the fight. Stay in the fight. If you're a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, a medic, all kind of different professions in life, you have to recertify every fucking year. If not every year, every couple years. Almost every job in the world has to recertify. There's different kind of tools and knowledge that comes out. Everything is constantly evolving. As human beings, we are evolving. So you get those CEUs. So right now I'm at Moab 240. you gotta also certify or recertify as a fucking savage. So I had a hard life growing up. My life is good now. Don't need to do this shit. It's time to recertify as a savage. Stay hard. As you all know, the book came out today, December 4th. When I first set out on this journey years ago, I never thought, I'd be writing a book about it. That wasn't the whole point of this journey, was to write a book about it. I want to thank you all for the support. It's very humbling to see how well the book's doing. The whole thing about all this, man, is you want to find out what's inside of yourself. And that's all this was about. That mirror I talked about in the book, the accountability mirror, I wanted to see a real human being versus a fake motherfucker. And that's what life was making me. It was a fake human being. So, hey, I appreciate your support. Stay hard. Today is a very humbling day right now. I'm in Amazon right now signing my book. We just passed over 3.2 million copies, which is something I never thought I would do. I wasn't here. I didn't do any of this to write a book, sell a book. And I was just doing it to change myself, change my mindset, and all the amazing stories I hear about people who've lost weight, people who are depressed, people who are going through hard times, that this book has helped them change their lives. So I really want to thank you all for purchasing this book, and second of all, for taking this book and making it work for you. A lot of the work I did was hidden work. It was behind closed doors. So a lot of the work that we do in life, no one ever sees. It's between you and you alone. So out here in this journey, make sure one thing. If you were to write a book about your life story, make sure when you hand it to somebody, it changes their life for the better. Stay hard, keep grinding. Growing up, I had a fear of the water. So I wanted to overcome that fear. So I got this book. It was like swimming for dummies. So basically, I get this book, and the first few pages, it says, it teaches you how to float. So I get access to a pool. I bring my book. I put it on the gunnel. I do what it says. And basically, this book is teaching you to get comfortable in the water. And how you get comfortable is they want to teach you how to float. So I do all the steps. I lean back. I lay back in the water, and I lawn dart the bottom of the pool. I come up. This lifeguard comes over to me. He looks at me and says, I taught a lot of people how to swim. Basically, you're doing the right things, but you want to fill your lungs up with air. So I do all that. I lawn dart to the bottom of the pool once again. When I come up, this lifeguard is laughing his ass off at me. He laughs at me, so I start laughing. He says, hey man, you're fucked. I go, why am I fucked? He goes, because you're negative buoyant. So he's teaching me about negative buoyancy, positive buoyancy, neutral buoyancy, all this crap. He goes, but you can learn. So he's teaching me in the shallow end. And the shallow end gave me a lot of confidence, because whenever I get tired, I just stand up. So as I got better, the whole idea was we had to move to the deep end. But I feared the deep end. And back then, there was no mental toughness classes on how to overcome fears and shit. It was just don't be a bitch type of class. So basically, he moves me to the deep end. His name was Robert. Moves me to the deep end. And he starts laughing at me. He found all this funny because I was scared to death. For over a period of time, I get over my fear. And I learned a lot of lessons from the deep end. So I took those lessons I learned from the deep end and I applied them to life. Me and Robert stayed in contact for over 30 years. But I never saw Robert. We never saw each other for 30 years. We just talked over text and shit. So he tells me he's into running now. He happens to be in my town. So he wants to go for a run. So I see Robert, and as he's texting me about coming to see me, all I can think about is the fucking deep end. And how this motherfucker unknowingly taught me these lessons. So now I want to return the favor. So we go out for a 15-mile run. And from the first step, I have Robert pegged. The fastest he can run, I have him there. We get to about 6-7 miles into the run, and I can hear Robert breathing. He looks at me and says, I am so fucking tired, man. Can you slow down? I said, I'm not going to slow down. Because you taught me valuable lessons in the fucking deep end of that pool. I'm now going to teach you valuable lessons on the deep end of life. So we're fucking running. And he completes this 15-mile run. He struggles. And when we get done, I sit back and I start to talk to him about the valuable lessons of the deep end and what that taught me growing up. And for all you out there, you may not be the best at something. And that is what the deep end of the pool will teach you. You may not be the best at swimming, the best at running, the best at learning, the best at anything. But it's very important that you look all of these deep ends in the eyes and face them. And make sure that you learn a lesson along the way. Stay hard. So yesterday my girl put a post up of my feet and also my daily routine. I found it funny, so I reposted it. A lot of people found my feet to be funny, which I think they're gross also. A lot of hard work went into those feet. This feet, people, just some hard working, nasty ass, salty, fucked up feet. Don't take it any further than that. Funny picture. A lot of people left some funny comments. I enjoy reading them. I read some other comments that looked like my feet touched people in a different way. Maybe it bothered them. Maybe it made them think about what they're not achieving, what they're not doing. But they put it on me that maybe I have a problem. Maybe I have an issue. Maybe I'm a masochist, whatnot. Take this time and I'll think about one thing. When you leave those comments, are those comments for me or are those comments about for what you're not doing? Someone left a post up there about, hey, David, you should just back off your shit. 45 minutes of running is adequate enough. 30 minutes in the gym is adequate enough. 30 minutes stretching is adequate enough. Adequate's a word I don't fucking use. When I finally realized that we can be uncommon people in this world, I realized that adequate was out of my fucking vocabulary. Therefore, you can go out there and do your adequate shit. I'm going to continue going as far as I physically can. Last thing I'll tell you right now, they ask me, what are you going to do when you can't do it anymore? I'm the most grateful motherfucker you've ever met in your life. I have a whole bunch of autoimmune diseases. There's been several times when I couldn't do what you read I do. And I'm grateful when I can get up and take a shit. I'm grateful when my skin's not fucking itching to death. I'm grateful when my head's not fucking pounding and shit. I'm grateful when my knees don't hurt like fuck or my back hurts like fuck. So trust me, it's not about running. When that day comes I can't run, I'll be a grateful motherfucker knowing I gave every fucking bit I could. I drained the tank, and when the tank was drained, I went to look for more. Last thing, I'm not crazy, motherfuckers. I'm just not you. Stay hard.